Oh, don't mind me. I'm just listening to music you wouldn't even be able to handle, so deal with it. There is something to be said for talking about music that not a lot of people know about. Although there is a fine line between being a compelling critic and a cocky hipster. You wouldn't even be able to fathom the beautiful complexity of this recording. You're nothing but an overweight consumer. Why'd you go listen to Katy Perry and Kesha? The mere thought of such atrocity in the music industry upsets me. I had a lot of fun reviewing Noe and Stanley's EP a couple weeks ago, so I thought, in light of that, I would review another underground artist. This time we're going to take a look at a rock band from San Antonio, Texas, Fulcrum Lake, and more specifically, their EP Verto, released in the summer of 2012. Formed in 2007, Fulcrum Lake is a four-piece rock group that I had the privilege of seeing live at their EP release concert in New Braunfels, Texas. It was a really small venue and there was only a handful of people there, but I still had a lot of fun. And after the show, the lead singer gave me an autographed copy of the EP, so naturally that piqued my interest even more, because I rarely say no to free music. Except once. That's a story for another time. Now this is a shorter EP, having only 3 tracks and barely hugging the 11-minute mark, but the bright side of that is it will allow me to jump into each song individually. Alright! The EP starts out with Sights and Sounds, an aggressive track that does a really good job at displaying the lead singer's melodic vocals that have just enough raw punch to keep things edgy. Instrumentally, things aren't too complex, but like I said earlier, the large pull for me here are the lead vocals. The next track is Hominid, and here the group slightly amps up the aggression. The lead singer also adds a little more subtle growl to his voice, and I should probably clarify that when I say subtle growl, I don't mean what I'm talking about is the kind of growl that when you get mad, you talk like this! It adds intensity and makes the song more intense! It's not the trees that move the winds, overlapping could explain. Throughout this need you comforted, a lack of faith won't shut you out, and now you're running from yourself. Also, while not immensely diverse, the guitars are more interesting on this track, and the drums actually have a heavier presence. The Struggle is the last song off Verto, and vocally it's a lot lighter than the other 2 songs, and it has a very clear and melodic chorus. The guitars and drums still have a heavy presence on this song, but they almost seem to fade into a distant hum during the chorus, making the overall flow of the song a little out there. I want you higher, I want you below, as you push me farther, you push me below. Now that I think about it, and this is just a thought, I think I would enjoy this song a lot better if it was just a ballad. Not that the song doesn't work, I just think the melody would fit better with an acoustic guitar and some gentle piano keys. Of course, I've always been a sucker for emotional ballads. Okay, well that was fast. Now it's time for the part of the show where I take a step back and look at the EP as a whole. From a lyrical standpoint, this EP reminds me a lot of Chevelle stuff. Very cryptic and mysterious, but with these guys there seems to be more subtle traces of spirituality mixed in. Sound-wise, the guitars remind me a lot of Static X, relying on higher distortion effects which definitely fit with the lead singer's sound. And speaking of the lead singer, I would actually say his voice is probably one of the most interesting aspects of this effort. It's very unique and out there, and I can't stress how important this is for a group that's trying to set themselves apart. I mean, you can have the best guitarist, drum player, and bassist in the world, but if your vocalist is just another generic rock singer, you got a bit of a problem. The lead singer's voice for Fulcrum Lake is just weird enough to be appealing, and I know that sounds like a negative, but believe me, it's not. However, a fact to remember is, the more you work out a muscle, the stronger it gets. And what I mean by all that is, these guys definitely have talent, and it's the kind that only gets better over time. So here's hoping they work hard, stick with it, and continue developing, because as a first effort, this is not bad at all. Really the only major negative I have to say about about this EP is I kind of wish some of the production work was a little more interesting. It was kind of just straightforward and did its job and didn't really surprise me at all. And I know that kind of sounds like a snobby comment, but hey, I'm allowed to have at least one. My favorite track is hands down Sights and Sounds. Well, that kind of sounded like a nursery rhyme. It's really good, and for me, the lyrics and vocals take it to the next level. My least favorite track is The Struggle, and like I said earlier, for me, I think it would have worked better as a ballad, but hey, that might just be me. If you enjoy Chevelle, 10 Years, Static X, Evans Blue, and you're looking for another group to add to your arsenal of rock, give these guys a listen, because they do have a unique spin on things, especially from a vocal angle. And having met them, they're really chill too, which is always a plus. I give the EP Verto by Fulcrum Lake a 6 out of 10. Here's hoping they stick with it and release some new music real soon, because I would love to hear it. I'm gonna put a link to their Facebook page in the description, so make sure all of you that watch this video go like them on Facebook. And if you're living in the Austin area, I'm pretty sure they have a concert coming up, so look for that, because rock concerts are just awesome. It's actually way too hot to be wearing this jacket and this beanie right now. Oh my goodness. I'm on fire!